And we're back. We're back. We're back. It's the Daily Lock In with your main man, Norman Locke. I'm here with my guy, Kelvin Jackson Jr., wide receiver extraordinaire. What's up, Kelvin?
What's going on? What's going on? Glad to be here.
Nothing much, man. I see that you're working out, getting ready for your pro day. Tell us what's going on.
Right now, just going through the whole draft process. I spent the last 3-4 months at Exos Pensacola, where I got some real good training in and fine tune some things. Practice some stuff. And right now, I'm just now got back up to Washington State, where I attended last year. Done still touching up on some stuff for my pro day on Monday that I'm looking forward to.
Now, before we get into the now, let's go back a little bit and why don't you tell me where you come from? I see that you're from Fort Lauderdale. How was it growing up in Fort Lauderdale?
Oh, it was good. It was eventful. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, but I attended high school in Cold Springs. Attended Cold Springs Charter for 3 years. My first year, I went to a small Catholic school that had about 120 kids in it.
Wow.
I wanted to play football at the highest level, so I went to Cold Springs Charter, competed in 4A. After that, went the JUCO route. Didn't qualify to high school. Decided to go JUCO. So
Why didn't you qualify?
grades weren't up to par at the time, and didn't have my head on straight on the right things and the right path I wanted to do stuff. So I think going JUCO is probably the best thing that has ever happened to me in my life. I say that and I tell that to everybody because it was a humbling experience. I feel like with that experience, it taught me a lot of stuff, to cherish a lot of things, to take advantage of all the opportunities you have. And I feel like I did that all the way up to the point I'm at now.
So how was the transition from high school to going to JUCO?
Man, that was first of all, it was my first time flying on a plane, like alone by myself. So
Really?
flying from Fort Lauderdale to the middle of Independence, Kansas was just a huge wake-up call. The game wasn't the same as high school. Of course, you got everybody's good in college pretty much. So, going up there competing for a spot, I wasn't a starter my first year. I was a little banged up. So I played here and there. And then my second year there, the show Last Chance You came out. Had a good off season, became a starter, started playing really good, got freshman All-American. Got second team All-American that year, co-offensive player of the year. Then I transitioned to Washington State. It was a long process, stayed there for 2 years, but I'm thankful to be able to go through that.
Now, at Independence, why don't you tell me about your transition from Florida to Kansas? Because I know that's two different worlds, man.
Yeah, that was probably like the craziest thing to transition because Fort Lauderdale is a city. It's a lot of like it's rural area buildings, houses, and all that stuff. In the middle of Kansas Independence, you have cornfields, wheat fields. You see cows running around. You see coyotes. You hear tornadoes warning going off. It's in the middle of nowhere, and you live in the dorms. You live in a brick building. It was it was 2 people per room, but the rooms are connected, so it's 4 people in total. You shared a bathroom with 4 other guys. It was like I said, it was a huge wake up call. Going out there alone by myself at 17, 18 years old, and just experiencing all that stuff on my own and figuring out how to get out.
So what's one of the most unique things about Independence, Kansas? Like you say, they had cows walking around, coyotes. What's something that's you can only spot or see in Independence, Kansas?
Honestly, just it's a lot of green. You look out of your dorm room window, you see nothing but just green grass fields. I see it was cool. I like to see like new states. I like to venture around a lot of stuff. So like seeing that kind of stuff was probably something that stands out the most because like transitioning even here, like you see something similar to that, but obviously it's more like buildings. You have more people. It's a lot more populated and stuff here, but there it wasn't as much populated. And then like back then it used to be an old oil refinery over there like downtown, so like driving downtown you see old like buildings that's not being used anymore and like old broken down buildings and stuff like that, and it's just crazy. It's like history.
So all right, tell me what were you eating up there? Because I don't know nothing that's like Kansas famous. Maybe barbecue, maybe.
I didn't eat barbecue up there. They have 4 restaurants in the city I lived in. It was McDonald's, Taco Bell, a place called Casey's, which was attached to a gas station, and a Mexican spot, and that's about it. You didn't have anything else. And like Harristown, probably hour 45 away and stuff like that.
Oh man, so it's football and school. That's it.
That's about it. That's about it. That's why that's part of the reason a lot of people like decide to go there because like it's not much to do out there. You got to stay focused. You got to keep your head on straight. You got to know what you want to do, and like going there, like I said, you'll be able to do that. So if you go there and you don't do what you're supposed to do, then I just don't know what to tell you. I don't know where else you're gonna go.
All right, so why don't you tell me about Last Chance U? So how I know that they have been filming at Independence before, but was it a changing experience to have those cameras around you doing practice and everything? Because I know that kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, like a lot of this is I get this question a lot from a lot of my friends and all that stuff throughout this whole process. But like I wasn't too big on the cameras. Like I didn't search for the limelight. I didn't like put me on TV, like let me do this and do that. From the start, from when I got there, my plan was to get in and get out as fast as I can.
Okay.
So I graduated as fast as I could and I got out, and the show came my second year. So the second year fall camp, that's when they decided to come film Independence. And that was the first year there. And like, of course, like, yeah, they're gonna have the camera mic you up all the time, cameras in their face at all times. So it's like it's crazy. It's a cool experience, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't too big on it. Like I wasn't like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna be so cool. Like I'm about to be on TV and all that stuff. Yes, it's a cool experience and all that stuff. But like I said, I had one goal and one goal wrong. And that was to make it out.
Now, of all the athletes that's on the show, from the research I've done, you the one got the most followers. So I'm trying to see. Okay, so you shine away from the cameras, but you
Yeah.
didn't got about 25,000 followers. So how did that correlate? How you got all them followers? You gonna shout me out? I need a shout out. I need a shout out, man.
But I don't know. Like I said, when the show came out, people tweet about it, people on social media and all that stuff. So people who came across my page, and I see a lot of comments like, "Why didn't you get more TV time? Like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?" And like I told you before, like I had a plan. I wanted to get in and get out, so I wasn't going out getting in trouble. I wasn't doing anything to get my name like called out. I was focused. It was only one plan. It was to make it out, go Division 1, back to where I was supposed to be at. And that's what I did. And people figured me out, follow me. I still get the same questions today. Why have you been filmed on there a lot? Like, why weren't you like, because like they'll put me on there sporadically, like scoring a touchdown or something like that. But other than that, I'm happy the way it ended.
Yeah, that's beautiful. As long as, like I said, as long as it went your direction and not somebody else's direction, that's all you can really ask for.
Yep.
So boom. So then you make the transition. Tell me about getting that offer from Washington State.
Man, that was crazy because originally I wanted to play Power 5 football. I signed to a Division 1 program called University of Toledo out of high school before I was a non-qualifier. And the position coach there, Derek Sage, love the guy to death. He ended up leaving Toledo after I signed. So he put me out of junior college that he knows the coach at. I went there, played, and then like towards the end of my first year, he calls me. He's like, I just got a job at Washington State. It's a better program. I'm going to be with Mike Leach. Mike Leach, well known around everywhere. Everyone knows about his air raid and all that stuff. And if you're a receiver, you would love to play in that offense. So he's like, we're probably going to extend an offer to you, but we'll see. I got to talk to the staff and all this. Now I'm like, okay, perfect. A few days goes by. He called me. He's like, you got an offer from Washington State. I told you wherever I go, you're going with me and all this. Love the guy to death. Great recruiter. I love him. And comes to find out, I signed 2 days later. I signed late. No, I signed the early signing period. And after I signed, Derek Sage, he leaves. He goes, gets a job, gets a job at UCLA, but it's best for his family. He coaches things, it's crazy, it's a carousel and stuff like that. But I applaud him, I respect him to this day. I love him to death. And that offer is just huge, just playing Power 5 ball in the Pac-12 level with Mike Leach in that office and catching 40 to 50 balls like a year, like it's crazy, and it's a great experience. And that's something that you got to take advantage of, because not many people can play in an office like that and be able to flourish and stuff like that. So it was a great experience.
So what did you like most about the area offense? Because I know you transitioned more to the outside. Did you like playing the outside more or the inside more in the area offense?
Air raid, the air raid spreaded the ball around a lot to the outsides, but majority of the balls are going to the inside. But the air raid, we rotated a lot. So it's a 2 deep position. So you run 2 or 3 plays, you rotate in, you run 2 or 3 plays, you come out, or you run a deep play down the field, you come out, and then it's like a circus. It's like it just keeps rolling and rolling. That's why I loved about the offense. But you throw the ball 60 to 70 times a game. That's how many times you run, about 3 or 4 times. If you're a receiver, who wouldn't want that? You're getting 10 to 12 targets a game, if that, probably more. You never know. Like Aesop Winston, Des Patman, Tay Martin, Tavares Martin, all those guys are just flourishing and air raid, and seeing those guys like make plays and catching that many passes and stuff, it attracted my attention. That's what I wanted to do. I'm a receiver. I catch the ball, I run, I score a touchdown. That's what I like to do. So like seeing that kind of stuff is just like it just opened my eyes, because like playing that is just it's rare. And like everybody that I ran into throughout this whole draft process, how's it playing with Leach's offense? Like, you guys throw the ball. I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. It's as it seems.
Because that's the one thing that I saw, doing my research on you. I'm looking, I'm like, this man's all over the field. And like you said, he's getting a bunch of targets. I'm like, yeah, they
Yeah,
slinging this pill around. Like, everybody get a little something. And then I
yeah.
come across that ASU game.
Ah,
I come across that ASU. Now, 8 catches, 139 yards, and a touchdown. You was just going Super Saiyan. You was just feeling in that mode. Like what? Like tell me, you was just looking at the cornerback like you just can't check me. You just like you just
barbecue chicken alert. Barbecue chicken alert.
yeah, that game was well down, because Arizona State was always they've had a lot of good DBs come through there. They had a lot of guys at the Chase Lucas, Jack, and all those guys. I love those guys. Talk to them to this day. Much respect, but like leading up to that game, they've like, oh, they're gonna come out playing a lot of man. They're not gonna run zone as much. So, and like me in the slot, excuse me, Peanut, we call him Peanut, number one. They said you guys are gonna be challenged. They decided to move their best cover guys to the slot, their corners, and guard me and Travell. And we took that as a challenge, and we knew it was going to happen. That's how majority of teams played us, because I wouldn't say we were a slot oriented, but most of the targets went to the slot this past year. So move us to the inside, slow start. And then once like that 5-minute mark hit at the first quarter, that's when it started to turn up. That's when we started getting comfortable. That's when we started getting in the routine. That's when we started seeing what they're doing and how they're playing us. And it takes a few drives to get familiar with how they're playing us and stuff, but like I said, after that, that's when it just started getting crazy. And like once I get comfortable and I get in the routine, it's hard to stop the flow. It's hard. And once I start catching and yards after catch, it's over from there.
Yeah, it looks like once you get going, there's nobody gonna catch
Nah,
you.
can't.
Now, I also noticed that you put on some weight.
Yeah, I
Okay,
did.
okay. So how was the strength and conditioning in the program at Washington State to put on that pounds? Because you went from like 160 to like 190?
Yeah, I went from, my first year I came in, I left JUCO at 165-ish, around there. And then Coach Tyson Brown, he said he's at Mississippi State now with Leach. He said I was a little too light. So I was like, all right, like, what are we going to do? I got on meal plan, I got on meal prep, I got on breakfast club, all the stuff to make me gain weight. I got up to like 180, 185 my first year there. Second year there, I played at 180, 185 again. And then my next year there, the COVID year, I ended up, like the COVID year, I'll be the one to say it. I sat on my butt because I didn't know if we are going to have a season or not. And then I didn't work out as much, which is not good. And I pushed at like 190, 194. And then I didn't like the way I looked at all. I was like bloated. Yeah,
You
I didn't
wasn't
have,
feeling the swag
I went,
wasn't there.
yeah, I didn't have the swag. I didn't have a 6-pack no more. And then I was like, yeah, I can't play like this. So I dropped down this past year. It's like 190, 185. I played that. And then right now, this offseason at Exos, I told him I want to play around like 190 because I feel comfortable at that weight, but I want to be cut. I want to be chiseled. I want to be like that. And we took that plan, we ran with it. So right now I'm 193.
Ooh, all right.
And I feel great. My body is healthy. I eating right. It's just like once you eat right for so long, your body thanks you, and you just feel it, and it shows. A lot of people have been saying my body's changed and stuff like that, and I take that as a compliment because that's what I wanted, and I want to do this all along. So feel
So
good.
you're not on the Ocho versus science. You're on the science and not the Ocho side of
No,
things.
I mean, as bad as I love Ocho to death, he's a Florida guy, but I just can't do it because like it goes in the wrong spots. It goes in the wrong spots. He's a different breed. Anybody that's from Florida, Ocho, his feet, sweet, body stripped, he's just a different breed. He could do that kind of stuff.
Now, another guy that I've seen on your Instagram page, Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
All right. So are you still in contact with him?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how's that relationship? Do you model your game after him? Because his work ethic is crazy. We can say what we
Yeah.
want about it, but I mean, at his
That's
size, for him to come in and what he has done in his NFL career that's still continuing going on is just amazing.
Yeah, I keep in contact with him here and there. We reach out, we touch base and all that, like occasionally and stuff like that. But he's a busy guy. He's got a lot going on and all that stuff. So I don't bother reaching out and all that stuff. So I let him handle his own and then go from there. Like if he reaches out, I'll talk to him. But like you said, his work ethic. Like I trained with him for a whole summer, me and my cousin Hollywood, and it was probably by far the craziest and most intense training from, like I said, from eating right to making sure your body recovers properly and stuff like that. It's crazy. And seeing the best in the game do some stuff like that, and you be able to say you train with him and do certain things, like it's just crazy. And a lot of people that haven't trained with him or like knows like his work ethic, bro, he doesn't do anything special. He does the little things good, and it goes a long way. And that's one thing he's taught me. It's the most simplest thing, from releases to catching the ball a
I was
certain
about
way.
to ask, like, what are some
Yeah,
of the minute things of a wide receiver that you just need to be great at?
releases.
Okay.
This league has become a pass heavy league, so it's going to be a lot more man coverage because you got the Jalen Rams, you got the Darius Slays, you got the Xavier Rose, Patrick, you got all these great cover guys that can play man. It's releases, and AB, he doesn't do anything special. He's really, really, really good with his hands. Like he'll beat you off the line with his feet sometimes. Then maybe sometimes if he want to try something new, he'll beat you with his hands. And it's like you'll throw a jab, he'll boom boom, get your hand, like it's sudden and quick. And I took that from him in like some of his releases. And it's like, yeah, I'm on my game after him, but like a lot of people ask me, I'm on my game off for everybody.
Okay.
I take bits and pieces from everybody, from Keenan Allen, Odell, Devontae Adams, D Hop, all those guys, AB, and I just sprinkle my little touch on it, or I take it, add it to my book. Like there's like no one set receiver. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to be just like him when I get older. Like, I just like to pick and choose.
Now, also I saw that you changed your number and you dedicated the season to your father. I
Yeah.
lost my father too at a young age, but so I dedicate a lot to him. So why don't you just tell me about like that season and dedicating it to him and finishing up and actually doing, like you said, everything that you went to Kansas for to this point.
My dad's been huge on this whole after season process. Like we've been talking about this whole recruiting process and like draft process probably my senior year of high school. Like he wanted to do certain things with me. He wanted to make sure I was good on this and good on that. And like we planned that all the way up until like this past year where he passed away last March. And like I said, like, and when he passed away, we was in the middle of spring ball. Actually, spring ball was getting ready to start in like 2 or 3 days. And I remember him telling me, he was like, this the year, you got to make sure you do all the things right. You got to make sure you treat your body right, doing this, staying good in school and all this and that. And, after I lost him, I mourned for a few days. But then like a lot of people ask me, it was like, oh, how do you feel and all this and that? I'm like, I'm good. I'm not as sad because I know deep down he wouldn't want me moping around and like with my head down and like messing up my game and all that stuff, because he would want me to like, not necessarily move on, but like be in a better headspace during the season. So the whole number changed. He wore 8 at Auburn, and another reason is just like he wore 38 at, when he played for the Dolphins. So changing to 8 was like part of that reason, and it happened at a great time because I originally wanted to wear 8 for him for my last year while he was alive, and then he passed away.
Wow.
So I decided to just transition to 8, and dedicating this past season to him, and then getting on that knee before the game, talking to him before the game and after the game was just crazy because like he'll call me after the games, like when like previous years, like how like what's up, like you should have caught this, you should have caught that, you should have did this, and like just a typical dad, critique you and all that stuff.
After
So
the
like,
game pops.
yeah, you'll have a good game. People like, well, you could have did this better. You could have. You're like, oh, all right, yeah. So I take those memories and I always think back to those things after games or before games, like the pregame talks, like what you need to do, like make sure you're on top of stuff. And I take that stuff and I run with it. Like I still remember talks. I still remember some of the sayings. Saying like it's one saying that I live by from him is, you're gonna go as far as you want to go. And that it's a life story. I apply that to everyday life, and it's just something that I hold close to my heart and something I live by every day. So I love him every day. I talk to him. It's just this past year was for him, and I think I made him proud.
Man, you for damn sure did. I'll tell you that. You for
Appreciate it.
damn sure did. Now,
Appreciate it.
um, going into pro day. Okay. Pro day, what do you want to show the scouts? What do you want to show the fans? What do you want to show your supporters that you've been working on for all your life to this point?
First, just want to show them I can run because a lot of people question if I can run, how my top end speed is, and all that stuff. So I feel like this is going to be a great chance for me to show them what I'm made of and all that stuff. And obviously, getting in and out of breaks is going to be some key for our position work and change of direction and stuff like that. And obviously, like, I'm a receiver, so I'm gonna show them I can catch the rock.
Right.
Come worst come to worst, I'm gonna make sure I lay out for everything, make sure nothing touches the ground. So it's gonna be perfect on that. But and show them that I got a physique, like I got stronger, along with the 225 test. A lot of people were questioning if I'm strong or not. So I believe this off season I took advantage of that and I've got stronger and I can be able to show that on Monday.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna be excited to be watching. The last question I want to ask you too, because I saw that you play with Gardner Minshew.
Oh yeah.
Is Gardner as cool as social media portrays him to be?
He's the same exact way. How people ask me that as well. How's Gardner? Is he putting on the show? Gardner is Gardner. He's been like
Okay.
that junior college, and he's a true character. He's an open book. He like what you get on social media is what you're gonna get in person, and
Okay.
that's what I love about Gardner. He's not gonna change for anybody. He's the jeans, shorts, and leather jacket kind of guy. With the jeans shorts cut up to his thigh. He's always been like that. And that's what I love about Gardner so much. Just linking with him and throwing with him is just always great catching up. But, another guy that I've played with a lot of great quarterbacks here. I love them all, but Gardner's that guy.
Okay, man. Again, good luck on pro day. Good luck April 28th weekend for the draft. I'm excited to see you in the future. Excited to see what you do. I really like your game, man. I appreciate you coming on the Daily Lock In with me. Until next time, my guy.
Yes, sir.